That's a perfect light.
Hello and welcome to Diana d'Orville for an interview with the one and only ELEONORA Galasso, an episode that tastes and feels like an Italian summer. Warm is her solar energy, as solar as her latest book Ma Grossesse Plaisir, recently published at Éditions Flammarion, a precious ally for the 9 months preceding birth giving and beyond. I hope you'll take as much pleasure listening to her as I did. Bonne écoute.
A bustling life between Paris and Rome. You're a mother, a speaker, a writer. You embody the woman who has it all. Can you walk us through your story, please?
Well, I have it all at the moment, and also quite a few kilos in, but a lot of joy. But it did take me about 35 years to get there. I had, like anyone has, a path that has gone through quite a few up and downs, but as we previously said, I take life and I take it all in. I was born in the south of Italy on the heel of the boot in a region called Puglia. At the time when I was born in the 80s, it was not exactly as renowned as it is today. When I was a little girl and I used to come back from the holidays in September, and all my friends would be like, I have been to Capri, I've been to the Côte d'Azur, and I have been to Puglia. Well, I was actually not exactly considered as the hype girl at the time. After all, we became a country only recently, 150 years ago, more or less, which means that we've been very disintegrated for a long time. And I think we as Italians bring this with us, creativity and disintegration that sort of marry together in something that can be quite tender. I moved to Rome when I was about 3 months old and spent all my adolescent years in this place, which made me feel very lucky because I was in the cradle of everything that is sumptuously beautiful, and feeling that the city has got this contagious feeling of belonging where I can really ground myself. And that led me to an interest to cultivate a sense of communication, not but deep communication with others. I was about 16 years old when I did my first steps in the radio world. They had a very tiny budget for me to work on their interviews. So I made a decision and I decided to invite those people over to my place in order to concoct something together. The action of participating into a meal making together would bring such participation, such empathy, that really made my heart sing. And then little by little, I found myself gathering loads of anecdotes about people, about artworks, about movies, about life situation as authentic as they can be. And I started gathering those in what are now known of as my cookbooks, which are not just cookbooks, but they actually each deliver portions of a passage of my life and the people I've met along the way. And so the story goes that I spent quite a lot of time in the UK and then in France, where I've decided to stop being the ragazza con la valigia, the girl with the
luggage.
With the luggage. And I must say, if I have worked as much as I have over the last few years, it's been thanks to the incredible and unstoppable commitment of women who have believed in me. And this has been something that I hope one day, if I will ever have something to give back, I'll be able to do the same. Not a project that I undergo without profoundly feeling a connection. I finally got this book signed, and it now maybe can help a few women who are looking for a personalized guide to new motherhood. Pregnancy is about the birth of a baby, certainly, but the birth of a mother as well. And that is revolutionary. And it actually represents an identity cataclysm that all women need to go through. And all women, I'm afraid, still live with too many do's and don'ts and taboos, which are both the fruit of cultural heritage and the fruit of trends. And trends are not here to stay. And cultural heritage, well, it belongs to someone else. But what about you and what you feel and what you are going through and what you as a person want to give to this other unique person that you're bringing to life? I don't think that there's any labeling possible for that. I have a feeling that people perceive the pregnant woman as a common commodity that you can just trash your truths on. And so some people will say, can I touch your belly? Some people will say, what are your medical choices? I would choose like this. And let me tell you, my experience was that, and it should serve you. And then people just make any kind of random comments. People, they are not requested. Thank you. And in order for a woman to become a mother in a very personal way, the only thing you can really say is you look glorious, darling. That's all. And because she needs the space and time and possibility to allow herself to blossom in the way that was meant for her, in the way that makes her heart and her heart only sing. So I believe in a sense of community which does not give points of view or any kind of judgments that could jeopardize a woman's sense of self-worth. Then let's also add the fact that we are full of hormones when we are pregnant, which makes it for a very, very fun time or a very incredibly sad time, depending on how the mood decides to play with us. So this is already something that we have to deal with on a daily basis. If you also have to deal with the opinions of others, that is a huge task to become a new person that will serve another human being.
So, how do you stay on top of your game? Is there any mantra or spiritual practice or ritual that to get through all challenges?
I wake up at around 5 a.m. every morning. And then
that's a miracle morning.
Morning is the beginning of all things. People are kind when you walk in the street at around 6 a.m. No one bothers you. It's the childhood of the day. So all things are possible. What I like is the connection to an harmonious way of things.
So, as you know, we're a sustainable luxury brand since the ground up. What is your definition of sustainability?
L'arte dell'arrangiarsi. The art of making do with what you have. That is a motto I always went by since I was a little girl. And that's also a motto that is very Italian indeed. And yes, to answer you, Audrey, sustainability is incredibly important to me. From my food and drink choices, I try to buy the freshest ingredients possible, also because we are what we eat. I try to reinvent my dishes along the week. So if I have, say, a number of ingredients that will make out a number of recipes, of course, there will be some leftovers from these recipes. I will always rework those leftovers and transform them into yet another recipe. I would do the same with fashion. So you touch a very weak note, hence a strong one. So I have inherited pretty much everything that I wear from my grandmother and great-grandmother, who have been the masters of my life and living. And I live and I exist through either a reaction or an emulation to them. And so it's really interesting how I today combine those garments that they have so carefully kept. I don't know how the hell they did it, and
Probably because it was actually very good quality.
it was.
You know.
I believe so. I believe that the garments were very good quality. They were made to measure with the client in mind. But I believe that mixing the generations, mixing yesterday, today, and tomorrow is what's really interesting in fashion today. I believe in using leftovers and recommending it, transferring it, reusing it, and making a sort of circle of joy with whichever object actually that is in your home. I believe in objects that speak a story. I don't believe in accumulation for accumulation's sake.
Alors, what did you dream of as a little girl, and what would you tell her today?
What really motivated me in the early days was to transmit emotion communication, and I guess that I got there today. However, I was incredibly insecure, and I felt like I was not in the right place. And everything I said, because I spoke my mind too much, needed to be silenced. I believe that things have changed now, and that I would tell her, always keep your identity firm by your side every day, no matter what, no matter who.
Thank you. It's funny because I feel you incredibly grounded now.
I think it's all about the updating. It's like any application on your phone. You need to update it at one moment, otherwise it's just
obsolete.
It's just obsolete to others, but mostly to yourself.
A rebirth again and again and again.
Mm-hmm. Things don't happen to you; they happen for you. And in fact, everything that happened has got a meaning, even though we do not quite understand what the meaning is whilst the thing happened, especially when it's quite heavy on our shoulder.
So first, the 3 words when you think of Diana d'Orville.
Timeless, audace, mysterious.
I love it.
Timeless is because those are garments that can be easily wore now that I'm in my 30s, but I also see myself wearing them in my 50s, and possibly if I'll ever be blessed with a baby girl, I will be able to pass them on to her. Audace, because who would have said before that you can actually hang out on a beautiful evening with your pajama? And mysterious, because it's linked to the art of not showing in order to show even more your charm. Because you don't need to overshow it or oversay it or overpronounce it in order for it to actually be there.
So you host a dinner. Who do you invite? What's on the menu? And what do you wear?
That's a very interesting question, Audrey. I would always host a pasta dinner because pasta does not wait. And pasta is very much a federating dish that makes everyone happy. So food happiness result is something that will happen for sure. The people, I would only serve a dish because I want the conversation to go and to be interesting. The dish would be pasta alla norma. Pasta alla norma is a Sicilian dish made of aubergine and a kind of grated cheese that is only found in the south of Italy, which is called ricotta salata. And so we would have a very long, very beautiful celebrative table with rose petals, with fresh and fragrant fruits, with loads of candles and pasta.
Un po' di vino anche,
you
no?
may wonder if like oysters, some really gourmet Michelin star chef
No.
dishes. No, pasta.
Pasta
Let's
alla
get to
norma.
it. Pasta alla norma. Obviously, loads of wine and a little bit of tobacco for those who wish. Sometimes life calls for it. So the people I would invite to this very interesting supper club would be the following: Sean Connery, because he is the man I have been dreaming of my entire life. When at a time where I didn't really know what a masculine figure could be, and so I would just flip through the pages of magazine that would have beautiful faces of those incredible timeless actors, and then I would actually go and see the movies that these actors made and how their real personality would come across. I think that Sean Connery was James Bond all the way, and I would like to learn all about it.
Hey, he's actually the epitome of the man.
It is. He is.
The man, vraiment, in every époque. C'est dingue.
It's really timeless. I've been hesitating between him and Cary Grant, but I would definitely go for Sean at the end. Then I would want to have Maya Angelou, who has been an incredible activist and whose words of wisdom caress me through dark and light times. And I would like to have her take on my pasta alla norma. And then I would want to have dinner with Napoleon, because he is the second most Googled person ever.
Seriously?
I would like to know, how did he work his algorithm so right?
Got that cool Instagram, Napoleon. And yeah, what do you wear?
I would definitely wear one of your beautiful garments. I believe that an hostess should put at ease her guest by being as eccentric yet down to earth as possible, hence allowing everyone to behave exactly as they wish.
Trop bien. Very good choice. Any book, music, and film you want to share with us that really inspires you throughout your whole life?
Absolutely. So the book would be In Search of Lost Time by Marcel Prusto. This is the book, or the series of books, through which I learned the French language when I was about 17, and I came to live in Paris for breathing through In Search of Lost Time, which to me is a way of life through all the possible conditions a human being can go through. And it's very sensationalist, meaning that there is not real plot in it, but it's all about the feelings and reactions and nuance of one life and all its possibilities. That really will charm me forever. A music that I will always go by at any time of my life would be Struggle for Pleasure of Wim Mertens, and it's something that keeps attention and an attention as a consequence that I will never tire of. And a movie that to me is the epitome of human condition and how to forgive others and forgive oneself for all the steps on the way is Fellini's 8½.
Trop bien. Fellini, good choice. La vita è bella aussi, quand même.
That is very sweet and very touching. La vita è bella is about hope. Whereas 8½ is about surrounding yourself with the right state of mind to understand that you are not defined by a moment in your life that has given you either glory or lack thereof. And you can move forward from that place and go somewhere else and still bring along with you all that you are, which is very much what I think postpartum is. Postpartum is actually a declaration of peace to yourself and to the identity that you, of course, don't leave behind as a woman, but that you put in standby because it's a season, a cyclical, set in time, a set in space kind of season that you can make the most of, or you can have difficulties to adapt at and hence live with many struggles. I will not wear my cashmere jumper, and that is not a problem at all, because I know that the winter days will come, will follow suit, and I will have a chance to wear that again. The same applies to the aperitif and the evenings out and all the crazy time that one mother think she may have left behind there for good. Nothing is for good. An Asian actor, I have to find his name again, but he used to say, be like water, my friend, be fluid. And that's actually what life is about. It's about fluidity, it's about moment and chapters and passage, and it's about circumstances. All is inherently circumstantial. So if you know that, you can actually play at and with life.
About glowing with the flow.
Glowing with the flow, it's so good.
Dream destination that you want to share with us?
Of course, Italy. What else? I myself feel like embodying the whole of Italy, the whole of the boot. I can be as deep as the waters that run through Sicily, as ephemeral as the evenings spent on Vespas going around in Rome, and I can be a bridge to other cultures as Venice can be, and I can be the cradle of all of my friends and entourage by visiting the Uffizi in Florence. I believe that Italy has got it for all kind of personalities and for all kind of people.
Thank you, Eleonora. Grazie mille.
Grazie mille, Audrey. Merci beaucoup pour m'avoir invité aujourd'hui. Thank you so much for having me here with you and your wonderful, very eclectic and very elegant community.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we did. You can find Eleonora's latest book, Ma Grossesse Plaisir, at Éditions Flammarion. Wonderful fresh recipes and tips, even for the non-pregnant and for you, dear gentlemen. À bientôt.